Bakker, thanks for coming back. We're going to talk about meat, eating meat. So if you're a vegan, you might want to put your hands over your ears and maybe go and look at a fluffy cat video or something. Right, what's the best type of meat to eat? I mean, would it be organic meat? Would it be non-organic meat? Well, I think you know the answer. Anything that you put in your mouth that's clean is going to be better than something that's not clean. You know, that's putting it really bluntly, isn't it? So if you're eating a non-organic meat, there are chances that there are going to be chemicals in that meat. But hello, in organic meats, how do we know there are not chemicals in that organic meat either? Depending on where the farm is or the kind of food, you know, that these animals consume. And there could also be some unscrupulous people in the organic market. There have been people caught out time to time. So if you are going to buy organic, make sure it's certified organic, okay? Now, in supermarkets in the United States, same here in New Zealand and other countries, you know, you can see meat that's commercially produced, and there are often labels on poultry like chicken and meats that are organically produced. In my opinion, these are a better grade of meat. They also tend to have a different fat composition, slightly different fat, a better type of fat than you will get in a conventional animal. And you need to be careful with the type of cuts of meat that you're eating too, especially if you're going to buy just commercial plain supermarket meat. Make sure you choose, if you're buying red meat, make sure you get as little fat on there as possible, because the fat is often which will store the chemicals, all right? The pesticides or hormones or antibiotics or a lot of this crap that actually animals do come in contact with will be less likely to stay in the muscle meat, but more likely to go to the adipose tissue or the fat of the animal, which is biologically inert. It doesn't really do so much, the tissue, but it does hold the toxins more so than the muscle does. So just bear that in mind. So if you're going to want to go organic but can't afford to buy organic, for example, you could also consider buying the cheaper cuts, you know, like the casserole kind of, like the round steak or the skirt steak or things like that. And that'll often be definitely cheaper than the prime, you know, say rump or sirloin that you will get if you're going organic, because you're probably paying premium for that. But yeah, so if you can't afford it, organic, but, you know, think about that. You could go for the cheaper cut. But yeah, not all meat's bad, and you will get some supermarket meats that are actually quite high quality, even though it might be non-organic. So you need to shop around. And maybe also you can get a contact from the farmers markets or different places like that, or go online to do a search. I did an online search for organic meat producers, and there are quite a lot around that are certified. So it's a matter of finding one, going to visit them, maybe negotiating a price. Even better if you've got a small freezer and you can buy a larger quantity and freeze that. Particularly good idea for you to do that in fall, coming into autumn or into fall, so you can get some meat supply in for wintertime, for example. I've made some really nice casserole dishes up this winter. Yeah, we've got some really good organic beef, you know, supplies here in New Zealand, and some fantastic sheep supplies here. So, but no matter where you live, there will be someone who will sell organic meat. It's a matter of finding it. I believe it's the superior way to go, because you have a lot less chance of getting a lot of chemicals that the commercial producers use. You know, they use lots of different chemicals on animals these days. So if you can minimize the chemical intake in your body through the food chain, it's going to be a lot better for the gut, isn't it, when you think about it? Particularly chicken. I really caution you to be, to be careful with chicken. Poultry. Here in New Zealand, they found that they can use up to a dozen different types of antibiotics in the poultry trade. So we generally only ever get free-range chicken for that reason. We know the people that farm these chickens, and we know what they're fed on. They're fed on really good food, and they range outside all day. So, but free range, I believe they're only by law allowed, you know, if they're outside for 2 or 3 hours or so, it's just sort of considered like free range, isn't it? It's free crap, in my opinion. So, but caged birds, yeah, that's going to be a thing of the past soon, I believe, because a lot of supermarkets now are not going to support, you know, companies that actually have battery hens. That's all got to go. So stick with organic if you can. And if you can't, stick with organic. See if you can get the cheaper cuts on the organic. And if you can't do that either, then stick with commercial, but shop around. You'll probably end up with something really good. But try not to eat too much commercial meat because of the chemical intake, all right? Thanks for tuning in. Click on the link below to get your free shopping guide. Thank you.